welcome to another Talk IT tutorial. So this is going to be lab 2. So basic setup, creating the files and the structure. Okay, carrying on from lab 1. So I gave you a quick overview of what we did, what the game is in lab 1, the rules of the game, showed you it running and actually won the game for you. So we're going to move to lab 2, doing the basic setups. What IDE? Just in case you don't know what an IDE is, integrated development environment. What version of Python? So I'm going to be using IDLE, which comes with Windows to as my IDE to program in, to write the code. The tutorial, this one is specifically using 3.5.1. Why? It's the newest one out there. Always try and keep up to date if possible. I know there's some quite big differences between 2.7 moving into 2.7 I think is the version, but it's come along quite a little bit more than that. So just make sure you download the right Python version, otherwise you are going to have some issues and the code won't work for you. So to define our project, we're going to split it up into separate logical groupings. So for this, how I've defined the logical groupings is that we have a main script that sort of runs everything. We have a service layer sort of class which deals with sort of business logic type things, so what actually makes the game tick and run. A graphical user interface sort of class that's going to interface with doing a lot of the graphical user work, where it's like displaying the board, updating the board type of thing. And then finally we've got the AI part of it, which is where it's going to hold quite a lot of this complex code in having the computer playing the game. So what we're going to do is actually just set these up really quickly. So I'm going to just drag across one of my open windows and just show you what we're going to be doing. So opening new folder which I've created, I'm just going to rename that, and I'm going to rename it to something just like Python mastermind, just like that. Creating some new files. So as I said, we're going to have a main, and then we're going to finish them with .py, which is the extension for a Python file. So we're going to have a main file. I'm just going to copy and paste that main file. We're also going to have a service layer. Just want to check my wording on this. So we have a service layer one. Service layer. We're going to have a GUI. Rename GUI. And then we're also going to have an AI one. These are modules, and then we're going to want to actually put the classes inside of those. So starting with main, what we're going to do is copy this, which is the first thing that's going to run on the main script, and all that is just a nice little thing that just gives it a bit of graphicalness to the CLI, so it looks a bit more like a game. So just simply file, save that, and then you can run module on that, and you'll see it's printed that and it's just finished. So we can close that one now, and then we need to add the classes for master service layer, mastermind GUI, and mastermind AI. So this is, again, I'm going to say it's a little bit laborious, but it's just useful to get this all set up now, and then it means you know exactly what's going to be going on. You understand the structure of this. In terms of the architecture for this, what we're looking at is we have the main script, and what that's going to do is call out to everything else. So the main script is going to call out to the AI module, it's going to call out to the GUI module, and it's going to call out to the service layer module. So we're going to separate the concerns of our code away from this one big script, which if you're used to other programming languages is sort of your main method in like Java or C#. Save that. So that's the GUI, and then last one is just the AI one. And then we'll be ready to start coding in lab 3, which would be great. Always remember to save it, and we're done. So that's lab 2. It's very simple, just defining a bit of structure there. I hope you continue on to lab 3. We'll start actually getting into some code. What we're going to do is revolve a little bit around mainly the main script, and I'm going to try and create the sort of basic logic of the main script, which will then allow us to move into the game functions, and then the player versus computer logic, and then onto the AI for the very last one. Anyway, thank you very much for listening, and I hope you continue.